were to think back, go back to '86. From Korea, I imagine as a young kid, I thought America would be like Disneyland would be like right there. When we first landed in Hacienda, my uncle, he has a house, and when I saw a pool in the backyard, I was just like, wow, this is America. Big country, big land. And then we stayed there for like about 3 months, and my mom, she decided we gotta move for us to grow. We moved into LA from a nice suburb to a city where this apartment packed with a bunch of people. And it was just so dark, and it was like kind of like a Gotham City. It just felt like, wow, it was just so different. And I realized that's reality for us.
좀 호리호리하지 문 절로 하고 좀 예. 괜찮으세요?
한국에서는 전원이라고 하면 넓은 평원이라고 볼 수가 있죠. 그래서 그것도 생각도 났지만 우리 쟤네 아빠가 전씨예요. 우리 저 아들이 용원이에요, 이름이. 그래서 전하고 원하고 따면은 전원이 되겠구나. 그래가지고서는 그걸 따가지고 전원을 했어요.
My mom started the restaurant in 1994. It's all her recipe. The idea came from how we ate at home. Because everybody's busy, it's really hard to fix themselves with a meal like that. Because, you know, wives and husbands, they're all working. Well, most of the people, they think of as Korean barbecue is Korean food. Of course, that's Korean food, but behind that, there is so much more, and it's just so much more that's out there to try. And people are actually noticing it now. Our main signature dish was black cod, we call it here, and the proper name is called sable fish. In Hawaii, they also call it butterfish. And that became the one that people come for. We cut a steak cut, it sits on top of the daikon radish, and it's sat with the fish and marination. And it just gets braised, and the radish itself is really hard, but because it's been sat, cooked, it gets softened, and it gets all the juice and the flavor soaks in. So it's actually really good.
한국 음식으로서는 이제 반찬은 다 그 베지타블이잖아요. 뭐 말리고, 뭐 생으로 하고, 뭐 삶고 이러는 것이 특징이 왜? 일단은 베지타블은 위에 들어가게 되면은 그게 부담이 안 가잖아요. 그래서 내가 알기로는 그래요. 우리 한국 사람들은 더군다나 굉장히 어렵게 살아왔던 민족이잖아요. 뭐라 그러 지혜스럽게 살아온 것 같아요. 뭐 없으니까 옛날 풀뿌리만 팔아서 먹고 이렇게 살던 민족이잖아요. 그러다 보니까 그걸로 다 응용을 하고 이렇게 하면은 참 대단했던 민족 같아요.
안녕하세요. 네, 안녕하세요. 네, 안녕하세요. 그리고 저 뭐 좀 더 가질 게 있는데 저 가지러 갈게요. 저 갖고 올게요.
성격이 아주 발랄했죠. 성격이 발랄하고 또 제가 그 친구들이 많이 따랐어요. 친구들이 우리 집에 대문 앞에서 아무튼 줄을 지어 섰었어요. 그렇게 친구들이 좋아했었어. 사람 태클 하는 걸 보니까 나보다는 더 낫겠다.
Gracias. Mañana.
My mom used to work in an office when we were in Korea, and we came here, and it's not like she could get a job right away because we're not used to living the American life yet. So she decided to make a lunchbox, and then she would just go out on the road, go door to door, try to sell it. There's days she sells, there's days she can't. And there's days that, like, because her driving skill wasn't that good, sometimes she would go over a pothole, and next thing you know, the whole lunchbox would fall. And I remember my mom would park the car and she would just cry sitting on the curb.
지가 지금 70이에요. 근데 40에 왔는데 한 30밖에 안 먹어 보였었어. 너무 젊게 보이니까. 와, 미스 김, 예쁜 아줌마가 반찬을 해왔는데 맛있을 것 같아. 이러는 거야. 토요일은 우리 애가 놀잖아요. 그러니까 엄마, 나도 가서 엄마 도와줄게. 이러는 거야. 그래서 그래, 같이 나가자. 그 장사하고 고생하는 걸 내가 많이 알아. 그래갖고 그때 생각하면 참 많이 아파요.
My mom opened this restaurant 22 years ago, back in '94. When she signed the lease contract, it said if we were to get bought out, get demolished, we were to leave, regardless what the remainders of our lease is. But back then, the management company, they said, it's okay, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So she signed, running it, and time came. It got bought out to these investors that wants to demolish this place, and we're literally getting pushed out without any benefit. We just have to start all over again. Only thing that we have is the loyal customers that we built that are willing to follow wherever we go. It just kind of feels like I'm going out on a war without any gun and bullet.
뭐 그냥 가슴을 많이 아팠지만은 뭐 사람들은 한마디로 다 그냥 나가지 말고 다만 이사 비용이라도 찾아갖고 나가거라 그러고 그러는데 우선 그런 생각은 전혀 안 하고 그냥 깨끗하게 좋은 이미지를 남기고 가는 게 우리가 좋을 것 같다. 우리 아들한테. 앞으로 우리가 그래도 이 사회에서 살 건데 나쁜 무슨 그런 거를 남겨놓고 가면은 아, 우리가 가서 더 열심히 살아가지고 그냥 돈 많이 벌자.
I learned to like run this business. At first, it was very annoying. It was very irritating. Just come here for an hour and a half, 2 hours to help out. But back then, I'm a lot younger. I'm immature, and I just think about having fun. But now it's a different story.